look right behind me, you're gonna see my smoker, and you're gonna see that it is smoking. That is because today I'm getting my pastrami smoked for eating tomorrow. It takes about 8 hours for those guys to go. If you stick around, I'm gonna actually show you inside the grill, show you how the pastrami are looking and everything. But what I wanted to do, and I was gonna save this for Homebrew Wednesday, but I'm very impatient because it's my first all grain, and I really want to try this. It hasn't even been 2 weeks in the bottle technically. I put it in the fridge yesterday, so maybe it's only been about a week and a half, maybe a little more than a week and a half in the bottle. So it is extremely green. I know that, and I know it's ridiculous to even be trying it now, but it's my first all grain, and I can't wait. So I'm gonna taste this, and I actually have one other sort of giveaway thing that I want to mention as I'm doing that. So let's see what we got here. What is that? I chipped my bottle just now. I don't like these. If you notice, this is that like the Belgian kind of bottle, and luckily the piece of glass came off on the outside there, so I'm still gonna drink it, but I'm gonna have to throw this bottle away now, which is fine with me. I don't really like those bottles. Pour it from that side. Oh, there we go. That's a nice pour, finally. The beer isn't incredibly clear at the moment. Pretty cloudy still. I'm gonna say that's because of how green it is, and hope that it clears up a little more. I did chill it and use a Whirlfloc, chill it with the immersion chiller, and used a Whirlfloc tablet and everything else. But that's a nice looking head. It looks like it might stick around. Well, it's probably gonna dissipate a little bit, but that's a nice color. This is an APA, my American Pale Ale. It's a Mirror Pondish Pale Ale, and Bruin and Q in 77. This is his recipe. He adapted it from Mirror Pond and has made some major changes. It's fairly well carbed at the moment, although, like I said, it's extremely green. This is a really early taste of this. I dry hopped this with, it got 4 ounces of Cascades altogether, so there's 4 ounces of Cascades in there. 60 minute, 30 minute, 15 minute, 0 minute, dry hop. There's a whole bunch of additions, and you really smell that Cascade. You really can smell it. That nice kind of like sweet floral citrusy smell that you get from Cascades. And so the aroma is really heavy with it, which is what I was hoping for. So let's go for a taste. Yeah. That is good. That's good stuff. Alright. This may be one of the best beers I've made so far. And a lot of the credit goes to Bruin and Kuhn for that recipe. Really delicious. Yeah. Wow, that's just such a good balanced beer, man. Oh. And it's green too. And it's just so good. Look, it's got a little lacing going on. Head retention was pretty decent. We still got a little cap on there. Carbonation is perfect. It's got a little bit of sweetness going throughout. Just the perfect amount of bitterness. And really great aroma and flavor of the Cascades. That citrus, floral, sweetness. There's a little bit of like a grain flavor, which is kind of cool. Dry finish. I think this finished at 1.012 if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 1.010. Excuse me. I'll have to double check that. So when I'm gonna taste this again like in a week or two, and I'll give you a better idea of how it really finished. But right now, it can only get better, and it's so good right now. This is by far the best beer that I've made, and it's the all grain one. So I mean that probably says something, especially like the lacing and the head retention and the pour that I got off of that. Right now I don't know how else to explain it, but the fact that we were using all grain brewing method, because most of my other beers have not really had success in that area, in the area of the head retention. Color's really nice, and it'll probably clear up a little bit. And if it doesn't, I don't really care. I'm not at that point where I'm looking for great clarity. All right, here's the deal. I've never told you my brewing company's name, or my homebrew name. A lot of people like to use specific names for their, they come up with a name for their brewing company, and I did that a long time ago. It's on my homebrew talk profile, but I never mentioned it here. So I'm gonna tell you now. It's Bad Wolf Brewing Company. I like the name. It's referring to a very specific thing. So the contest I'm doing, the giveaway I'm doing, is if you can tell me, if you're the first person that correctly identifies the reference that my brewing company name is about. So Bad Wolf Brewing Company. If you're the first to identify what that reference is, I'll give you a free ebook copy of my debut novel, Soundtrack to the End of the World. So an ebook copy, you'll be able to read it on a Kindle. You could tell me whatever format you want, and I'll send it to you. Kindle format, Nook format, so Mobi, EPUB. I could send you a PDF. You could view any of those on your computer too. So even if you don't have an ebook reader or an iPad tablet, you could still, open a PDF on your computer. Or even, if you got the Kindle version, you could get the free Kindle e-reader for your computer. So that's the contest. Just tell me what you think my brewing company's name references, Bad Wolf Brewing Company, and I'll give you a free, if you're the first one to do that, I'll give you a free ebook copy of Soundtrack to the End of the World. I have to have another sip of this. Delicious. Hopback Nate, I've got your beer packaged up. I'm gonna send that out on Monday. I'm sorry I couldn't get it out today, but I'm kind of stuck here smoking the pastrami. This is an 8-hour thing that I gotta do here, so I apologize I couldn't get it out today, but it will be out on Monday. It's all packaged up, ready to go, and you got one of these in there too. So I told you on a comment that you probably have to age it a little longer, and you probably should, but it's good now, so that's up to you. Want to take a look at the pastrami? Yeah, let's take a look. Alright, so I'm going to show you my smoker, and pastrami inside have only been going for about 2 hours right at this point, so they are still, not going to probably look like what you would recognize as pastrami. The color of the rub changes drastically throughout the smoking process. Right now, you'll still see the color of like paprika and stuff. Later on, it gets black, basically. So here, take a look at my smoker. Over here is the side carriage. And this is where we put the wood chips. So I put my wood chips in there, and I put them right on top of hot coal in a pan, and that's where the smoke comes from. It then goes through to the other side. In this way, the reason we do that is because we don't want direct heat under the pastrami. We want just a low heat. I usually go for about 210 degrees, 215 degrees. You can see the thermometer there. So the smoke travels through as well as a little bit of the heat. But if there was direct heat under there, it would be way too hot. So I'm going to open up, let you see the pastrami. they're looking pretty good. They're looking good, alright. You could see I have a little water pan under there with some juice. And I have some juice and vinegar and water to kind of keep the moisture in there. And like I said, over the course of 8 hours, that rub that you saw there turns more and more black. I've got the fat caps on top so that the fat drips through and moistens the meat, as well as the other drip tray of steam that goes off in there. So I just lowered the temperature a little too much by opening it to show you, but that will get back up in temperature pretty quick, I think. So see, look at all that smoke, man. That's awesome. Love it. I use a combination of hickory wood, apple wood, and cherry wood. A lot of people like to use just straight up like hickory, mesquite, oak. I found that when I use 100% hickory for 8 hours, it becomes kind of harsh. The smoke is a much more harsh and even bitter after a while. So I like to balance it out with the apple and cherry wood. It's a sweeter smoke, a lot more mellow. It kind of rounds out the flavor of the smoke, and it's something that you can just do for hours, and I find it to be much less harsh and bitter at the end of smoking. Even worse than hickory is oak. If you do a lot of oak, that can be even more harsh. But anyway, I just wanted to offer you that little contest. Bad Wolf Brewing Company, what does it reference? Wanted to show you my first ever all grain batch American Pale Ale Mirror Pondish recipe given to me by Brewin and Kewen 77. Really good beer. Everyone have a great weekend. Smoke some meat, drink some beer. Have a good one. Cheers.